Hello, everybody. I am Scott Talbot, the EVP at the Electronic Transaction Association. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of ETA's Transaction Trending. It's our podcast where we speak with payments experts on trends and issues shaping our exciting industry. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Patrick Gallagher, who is founder and CEO of Reliable Payments, and Travis Christman, who is president and co-founder of Coastal Pay. These two payments experts have not only lead their successful companies, but have been instrumental in serving on the ETA's Payment Sales and Strategy Committee. And it's in that role, as part of our Payment Sales and Strategy Committee, that they have, along with other committee members, authored an exciting white paper titled Growing an ISO/Sales Organization. This comprehensive document covers a range of critical topics for ISOs, from raising capital to managing risk and achieving balanced growth. So with that, I'd like to spend some time with both of them talking about the white paper and, more importantly, talking about what's to be a successful ISO. So let's dive right in with our first question. Patrick, can we start with you? So the white paper is focused on growing an ISO. Why is this an important topic now? What trends are you seeing in the ISO space?
Sure. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, I think for starters, I think we're seeing a pretty rapid growth in the industry, especially in the agent market and agents transitioning into becoming an ISO. I think a lot of it starts from kind of this gig economy that's come about the past couple of years, people kind of leaving the traditional 9 to 5 and going out on their own. And I think a lot of those folks have looked at, you see the folks jumping into real estate, but also I think a lot of folks are getting into selling payments. And we're seeing people see how successful it can be, especially with the changes going on in the industry with surcharging. That's really brought a lot of folks some success, technology integrations and vertical specific focus. And we're seeing folks really see some success and they want to grow into a more well-rounded business. And so that coupled with large processors being acquired, there's folks looking to kind of plant their own flag in the industry. And I think growing an ISO, it allows for some stability in the ever-changing market that we're dealing with.
Outstanding. Outstanding. So over to you. As you start an ISO, what are some of the most challenging aspects of that?
Yeah, so the whole operations and the whole getting it off the ground and the whole aspects of running, starting, and growing it can be challenging. But if you narrow it down, we're in an ever-changing landscape with technology and product these days. And, an ISO today isn't what it was 5, 10 years ago because of the technological advances that we have today. And that, the biggest challenger is going to be building that product and that technology that's going to help drive your company and drive sales, right? Get in and off the ground and, managing the development team, the cost, everything, and then quality assurance, and then actually turning that into sales, the whole process.
Interesting. So sticking with that, obviously, as you start a business or you're scaling your ISO business, there's going to be costs, right? That's the fact of life. What are some of the unexpected costs that most ISOs who are new or trying to scale their business don't anticipate?
Yeah, I think a big one is, the technology and the product, right? When we started our ISO, we didn't have any software applications when we started. And we were an ISO like all the other ISOs out there, selling on price and just the products that were available in the marketplace. But when you've got big companies like Stripe and Square, spending all this money on product, software, and applications, right? In order for us to keep up with them, right, we're going to have our own product as well. So development costs is definitely going to be a big one. CRM costs, if there's any legal costs, right, pertaining to different parts of your organization. HR can be, HR issues as you're hiring on employees that you don't expect. Can be a challenge. We're California based. California is very consumer friendly. And so we've had some challenges that, were unexpected for us that taught us some valuable lessons that we were not expecting.
And I think one piece that's going to add to that too, Scott, is the lag time it takes to getting revenue in the door in the payment space. adding deals, you're not getting upfront payments, so it's a long-term residual play. So you put all these expenses out, you expect the money back the right way. It's a long time sometimes to see that return on investment.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So, Patrick, thank you for jumping in. Let me direct the next question to you. So there's a couple of ways to think about an ISO. You can go on your own. You could be part of representing a processor or some of the brands. What do you about the unique aspect of building your own brand as an ISO? Like, why is that important to position yourself that way as a sort of a sole operator?
Yeah, I'm a pretty strong evangelist when it comes to representing your own brand, and I've got colleagues and friends in the industry who think differently from me, and that's fine. But if you're asking my opinion, I think it's imperative. I think you must have your own brand, and I would not do it any other way. Number one, you get to control the message. While you have to represent your partners accordingly, you still control your message. You still control your message to the community. You can create your own culture, your own representation, and your own footprint in the community you serve. I think one of the things that is a commonplace in the industry is acquisitions, especially on the larger side. The big guys are always changing up, changing brands, and changing who you are. And if you're representing some brand that you do not control, when a change happens, you then are forced to change, and then we get back into expenses, having to reprint cards, reprint marketing materials, everything like that, and change message. While there's strength in size and representing a big name in the field, if you are starting an ISO and trying to be part of a specific vertical or part of a specific community, being a brand that is recognized within that community as part of a community organization, I think the pros outweigh the cons all day long.
Yeah, perfect. So Travis, shifting back to you, technology can be a blessing. It can be a curse. If used properly, ultimately, it is a powerful force. Can you talk about the role, Travis, that technology has had in changing ISOs or shaping ISOs, or how ISOs are using technology, especially in the past couple of quarters? I mean, it's really been tremendous growth in technology.
Yeah, the technology landscape is changing in a few different ways. I think one of the biggest ways we're seeing is on the banking side. The Federal Reserve just completed their FedNow program, and we've seen, fintech like in digital currency, like cryptocurrency, become very popular. We've seen buy now, pay later become very, very popular. One of the stats that I heard was 19% of all transactions in the month of December were buy now, pay later, and so their market share is growing very, very quickly. That's on the banking side. But then we look at the integrations and, with FedNow being released, how does that affect the current landscape in the payment space, right? And so then we look at stuff like integrations, right? A lot of the integrations, when you look at like TSYS's integrations and Fiserv's integrations and Elavon's integrations, right? A lot of their integrations process credit cards, right? Maybe some of them have ACH. But we've got credit card, ACH, buy now, pay later, Venmo, PayPal, cryptocurrency. FedNow, we have ACH. We have all these different types of payment methods that are not built into the current integrations. And so we're going to see a massive shift in technology in our space in the next 10 years.
Throw in the changes brought on by artificial intelligence, and you multiply it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's forgot to mention AI, right? You've got AI in there, and now we're going to see even more, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sure, but all to the good, I think, in the end. So
well, then you throw Elon Musk in the mix, and him throwing the word he wants to get back into payments again. I think that guy wants to try and revolutionize things again, like he did with PayPal. So there's changes coming. I think we got to be paying attention to what's coming down the road.
Sure. And ETA and Sales and Strategy Committee can help do just that.
That's right.
So we appreciate your leadership and your role there. Last question for you both to wrap up. Maybe Patrick, since you have the floor, you both have built successful ISOs. Can you sum up any advice that you would give to a new ISO today as they're just starting out?
Yeah, I think the sentence would break into two parts. First off, the one thing I tell anybody starting a business, but if you're in the ISO space, it's three simple words: just say hello. Meet as many people as you can. It results in clients, in partners, in vendors, in opportunities, and just get out there and say hello. The ETA has been crucial for that with me. I've met so many great partners, friends and colleagues that I rely on for advice, just say hello, get out there, meet as many people as you can. But one of the things you need to do with that as well is be laser focused. Do not take every single opportunity that comes knocking on your door. When you hang your shingle, you're going to have things come up that you never thought were possible, and opportunities that are kind of adjacent to what you do, and you're going to get excited about it, and you're going to lose focus on your core offering. So just say hello, meet as many people as you can, but come back to be laser focused on what you're doing and stick to that.
Great. Thanks, Patrick. Travis, bring us home.
Yeah. So, I would start with doing your research, right? There's a lot of companies, processors, technologies out there that exist today. And the more research you kind of do up front and see which companies you want to align your company, your vision, your goals with, and have a good set of goals, the better you're going to do. I always say, the better partners and vendors that you have, they're going to distinguish the health and the growth of your company. So do the research early on. Try to set those goals, go after those goals, and I would look for companies that have forward-thinking technology and product. Right, that's going to help your best chance with the growth in an ever-changing landscape.
I want to thank you both, Patrick and Travis, for sharing your insights and your expertise with us today. Your perspectives, both here as well as in the white paper and on the committee, have been very valuable to all ETA members as well as the entire payments ecosystem. So we thank you. For those of you who would like to go deeper dive into this topic, you can access the full white paper, Growing an ISO/Sales Organization, at the ETA website. You'll find it under the Transaction Trends section. That's www.electran.org. The guide will also offer more detailed strategies and insights for ISO grow and thrive in today's competitive landscape. So definitely worth checking it out. And to conclude, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode of Transaction Trending. Till next time, I'm Scott Talbot for the Electronic Transaction Association.